Alright, so this is just a quick introduction to how to make very simple games for the Ubuntu Touch phone, mobile phone. So I've just hooked up my Pixel 3a to this computer, and so I'll go over the things you'll need. You're going to need Clickable, which you can find the information about on the UBport's website. If you need more, I think the best way to do it is app development. On UBport's website, go to app development, and then just take a look at the native apps, and you'll see an article on Clickable. And go to install. And it's a fairly straightforward process. Just gotta install all the components and get the test stuff running. So anyways, I'll go over how to set up the project, but I won't go over the installation. Next thing, we're going to use GDevelop, which is a really easy way to set up applications in Ubuntu Touch. So GDevelop, they have Linux packages. If we go to the website, you can see you can get it on Linux right here, and it'll just be an app image. So you'll have to set it to executable and then launch it. So if I go to my home, I have GDevelop right here. So I just launch a terminal and do /GDevelop app image, and you'll see that'll launch GDevelop, and I have a project in here. But what I'm actually going to do for this tutorial is I'm going to just grab the platformer demo and open it. I'm going to throw it in my secondary drive, GDevelop projects. Oh, and GDevelop has this thing where it can't create folders, so I'm just gonna hop over here, make a folder, test project 2, and you'll want to put it in a folder. Okay. Sure, that works. Create project. So I'm just going to create the project based on this template for now, because I'm going to try to keep this to a minimum length. Alright, so it's loaded up, and if we just preview it, you can see it's just very basic side scroller, and you can see they have a little mobile component down here which you can learn about in the event elements, but we won't worry too much about that. So what I'm going to do with this now is I'm going to hit the publish button and build manually, and I'm going to choose web right here, and I'm going to say choose folder, and I'm going to put it in here, but I'm going to have to set up another folder, test project 2, and I'm just going to call this one build, throw it in there, okay, and I'm going to say export as HTML5 game. You may need to sign up with a GDevelop account in order to do this. I think I am currently. So I'm just going to export, and as you can see, you can now upload the game to a web hosting to play the game, but we're not actually going to need to do that. So I'm going to close this and close GDevelop. So assume you've built whatever project it is you're building, and as you can see in this build folder now, there's all of these assets. So, and this is what we're going to need. But first and foremost, we need to set up our Ubuntu Touch project. So in this folder where I have all my projects, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open a new terminal in this location, and we can close our previous terminal. And I'm going to say clickable create, hit enter, and I'm going to select the fourth option labeled HTML. App title, I had it copied from earlier, right here. A short description of your app, a game template for a tutorial. App name, this is like a non-caps version, so Hypnotic War. Namespace, Lumpology. Maintainer name, email, and then I pick a license. I usually pick MIT. You can read up on all of these licenses. Alright, so now we've created a project. And here it is. It's Hypnotic War. And so all we're going to need to do in this project is go to www, where it says index.html, delete it, and then secondary, we're going to find GDevelop projects, and project 2, build, and I'm just going to take all the files in this folder, and I'm going to copy them over to Hypnotic War www, and paste them right here. Alright, so now what we're going to need to do is build the project and send it over to the device. And the way this is done is if I go back to Hypnotic War right here, I'm going to right click and open in terminal. And I may need to get my list of commands. Alright, here it is. Clickable, chain, arch, all. And I have my device plugged in, I should mention that, though you've probably seen that right here. And it just launched on my phone, and it says made with GDevelop, and all the mobile controls are up. So here, I'll see if I can alright, so phone here, and if you see I launch it, and then all I've got to do is tap this little icon here, and this new Hypnotic War program has showed up in the program list, so I'm going to tap that. Made with GDevelop. You can pay for the GDevelop license to get rid of that image, but as you can see, there's no mouse on here, by the way. I know there's that piece of light zipping around, but there's alright. Anyways, that's how it's all done. So, very quick game for Ubuntu Touch made with GDevelop. Very simple.